Line.
Dude, this is your channel. Just say whatever you want.
What's up, guys? How you doing? What is line?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What's up, guys? How you doing? And welcome back to another video where I have no idea how to style my hair. So I'm wearing a headband today. No, I'm not just trying to copy Ryan Gosling. Though yes, he is literally me. Well, you've all seen the title and thumbnail, so you know exactly where this is going. Like, do I even need to say anything? Like, we all know the story, we've all seen the film. Except I haven't. Well, I mean, I have now. I had to write this video, but for the sake of illusion, let's pretend I haven't yet. But yeah, at this point, it's a classic, right? Not like your average cult classic with a small but devoted fan base. No, I'm definitely in the minority of people who've never seen it. Like, by 2009, it had basically become a worldwide phenomenon. And yet, up until a couple weeks ago, the movie had just blissfully passed me by. Like, obviously, I knew about it and the reputation it had, but really, I just had it marked down as one of the many films on my list of things I needed to watch but would probably never bother to. And yet, thanks to the nature of memes, I'm already fairly acquainted with the plot, or at least the most infamous scenes, like of course, "I did not hit her, it's not true, it's bullshit, I did not hit her, I did not." Oh, hi Mark. Which then in turn spawned arguably the most glorious piece of media ever created.
"I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not."
Oh my god! Oh jeez! Oh my god!
So why is it that suddenly convinced me to watch it now, other than, you know, needing something to talk about? Well, I was watching Gabby Bell's Mario video to see how it compared to mine. Turns out you can cover a movie's plot in just 20 minutes rather than like 40. Who'da thunker? But at the end of that video, she gave The Room an 11 out of 10 review.
To me, a movie is better the more I enjoy it, no matter how bad it is. Mario movie, 8 out of 10. The Room, 11 out of 10.
And like, damn it, I'm sold. And I immediately started writing this intro. I still hadn't even filmed that other 5-minute craft video when I wrote these words, but also it just happens to be the film's 20th anniversary this year, so what better time to talk about it than now, So I guess I gotta do the usual history lesson shtick now, so let's jump back in time again. Thomas P. Wiseau? Wiseau? Oh, even he doesn't know how to pronounce it.
Hi, I am Tommy Wiseau.
And I am Tommy Wiseau for your information.
Whatever. Anyway, Tommy Wiseau was born in Poland, maybe? In the year 1955, maybe? Bloody hell, this guy's an enigma. Wow, he could not look more like a serial killer there. He's like some sort of time-traveling cryptid. Tommy Wiseau's not even his real name. Okay, obviously we're getting nowhere here, so let's jump forward a little. So there's basically two main sources for the information I've got here. There's either the range of interviews Tommy's done over the years, where he says a lot of nonsensical stuff and makes some pretty dubious claims. Or there's the book The Disaster Artist, written by one of the other lead actors in The Room about his experience making it, which was later adapted into a film starring James and Dave Franco and featuring a whole bunch of celebrity cameos. And in a surprising show of effort, I actually read the book and watched the film for this video. However, I am not going to trawl through all the crazy stuff Tommy said, so any information not from the book, I've probably plucked straight from Wikipedia, so maybe take it with a pinch of salt, but you should probably do that regardless because this is Tommy Wiseau we're talking about. So Tommy originally wrote The Room in 2001, not as a film but instead as a play, inspired by the psychological thriller The Talented Mr. Ripley. Wait, is that what that film was about? I think in my head I always thought it was about some wacky zany guy in a fantastical world, like Willy Wonka. Pretty sure I confused it with Mr. Popper's Penguins. Nobody remembers that film. I don't think I even watched that film. Is that what that film was even about? Apparently not. Anyway, back on topic. Tommy originally called his play The Room due to the fact that the entire thing took place in one room. Very art school. Anyway, I guess the play didn't really go anywhere, so he then adapted it into a 540-page book. And then when nobody wanted to publish that, he decided to adapt it into a film instead, producing it himself to maintain creative control and stop anyone interfering with his flawless vision for it. And still calling it The Room, despite the fact it no longer took place in just one room. I mean, who can blame him for not wanting to change from such a genius name? Okay, the anti-steaming up spray did not work. Whatever. And as with basically every other part of Tommy's life, nobody really knows where he even got the $6 million budget, around $9.5 million in today's money, to produce the film in the first place. In 2008, he told Entertainment Weekly that he made some money importing leather jackets from Korea. Sure. The disaster artist says Tommy repeatedly made some very dubious claims about amassing a fortune through entrepreneurship and real estate development in Los Angeles and San Francisco, something the author found impossible to believe. Apparently a bunch of people involved in the film's production straight up thought it was some sort of money laundering scheme for organised crime. Whatever the truth is though, Tommy was just absolutely burning through money, mainly because he had no idea what the hell he was doing, having just inserted himself as producer with no prior experience. So little side note, the disaster artist book was written by one Greg Sestero, the actor who played the infamous Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hey, Johnny, what's up?
And it turns out he wasn't originally gonna play Mark. He wasn't even meant to be in the film at all. No, it turns out he was actually hired in a behind the scenes role, with his official title on the film being line producer. Quote, "When we began, I had no idea what a line producer was. Neither did Tommy. Basically, I was doing anything that needed to be done. I scheduled all auditions, meetings and rehearsals, ran the casting sessions, helped find equipment, and most challengingly, made sure Tommy didn't sabotage his own film." But in reality, Greg was the closest thing to a best friend Tommy had ever had, and so Tommy actually wrote the part of Mark to be played by Greg all along. And after many attempts to convince him to take the part, the night before production started, Tommy finally made Greg an offer he couldn't refuse. A buttload of money. And a new car. And so the next day, the original Mark actor arrived on set, ready to film, only to wait several hours for Tommy and Greg to arrive, because Tommy had been too busy freshly dyeing his hair black, at which point he was promptly fired. Of course he wasn't. Instead, Tommy strung him along for as long as he could, recording his scenes, but with the cameras not rolling, while having Greg actually record the same scenes under the pretense of it being screen tests for some non-existent producers. Obviously that charade didn't last long, and the guy was soon gone. Throughout this video, I'm gonna keep interjecting with quotes from the book every so often, because honestly, sometimes Greg says this so perfectly that there's really no point me even trying to capture it myself. Anyway, back onto Tommy being bad with money, and boy was he bad with money, happily throwing so much of it away over things that were easily avoidable. He built whole sets for scenes that would have been easier to film on location.
This set of the alleyway looks exactly like the real alleyway out there.
That's right. That's why we're doing Hollywood movie, right?
Well, why don't we just shoot in the real alleyway?
Because it's real Hollywood movie.
No? Yeah.
He even filmed some scenes multiple times using different sets. He decided to film simultaneously on both physical film and digital HD cameras, different forms of recording which both required their own independent camera and lighting crews. Why did he do this? Because he wanted to be the first filmmaker to ever do so. He never stopped to ask himself why no one else had tried. And in a move no Hollywood professional would ever even consider, he didn't just rent this equipment, nope, he straight up bought all of it, despite the fact it'd be outdated within a year. And after all of that, none of the digital footage was ever used. Oh yeah, he also built himself a private bathroom on set 80 feet away from the one everyone else used, complete with a toilet, sink, mirror, but no door, just a little curtain.
Pissing all by yourself, handsome?
And to top it all off, he ended up hiring a billboard to advertise the film, which cost $5,000 a month, and which he kept up for 5 whole years. That's 60 months, that's $300,000. Who the hell advertises a film for 5 years? You know, maybe those money laundering theorists are onto something. And then of course there was Tommy the actor.
To be or not to be? That is the question.
Even in front of the camera, he was still costing them a whole bunch of money. In pretty much every single one of his scenes, he was forgetting his lines or place on camera, meaning even the most basic dialogue sequences could take anywhere from hours to days to film. You know the "Oh hi Mark" scene? That took 3 hours to film, 32 takes, and it's 7 seconds long.
Scene 112, take 13, mark it, action.
I did not hit her. Okay, line.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
Tommy couldn't remember his lines. He couldn't hit his mark. He couldn't say mark. He couldn't walk. He couldn't find his eye line. He would emerge from the outhouse mumbling, lost and disoriented.
Take 17, action.
I hit her!
No!
But hey, what is art if not pain? And this was obviously all absolutely vital to perfectly executing Tommy's artistic vision. So a whole bunch more shenanigans took place over the course of production, such as the majority of the crew, including the director of photography, straight up quitting because they were so done with Tommy's bullshit. Like mistreating everyone and not even granting the most basic requests like water or air conditioning, resulting in Tommy having to scramble to find a far less experienced second crew. And then when the exact same thing happened again with this crew, Tommy called this now now ex-director of photography a slur, and then had to find a third crew. By which I mean he promoted one of the few guys who didn't quit to be the third director of photography, supported by like one other camera guy who also didn't quit. Honestly, just read the book, it's so worth it. But the film finally stumbled its way to the premiere on June 27th, 2003 at 2 whole theatres. And yeah, people hated it. Well, those few who actually went to see it at all. From its $6 million budget, it made 1.916. Actually, that's not so bad. Like, it's still a massive loss, but I wasn't expecting it to make anywhere near it. Okay, yeah, that makes more sense. $1,916 out of 6 million. Quoting Wikipedia, actress Robin Paris described the audience laughing at the film, and Variety reporter Scott Foundas? I don't know. Would later write that the film prompted most of its viewers to ask for their money back before even 30 minutes had passed. IFC.com described Wiseau's speaking voice in the film as Borat trying to do an impression of Christopher Walken playing a mental patient, and The Guardian described the film as a mix of Tennessee Williams, Ed Wood, and R. Kelly's Trapped in the Closet. Hey, what is this, a crossover episode? Wait, hang on, Trapped in the Closet didn't come out for another 2 years. Was this guy prescient? Never mind, he wrote that in 2009. What sort of loser tries talking shit about something that came out years earlier? Wait, do I even need to say how the reviewers scored it? And yet, as is human nature, The Room's reputation as one of the worst films ever made later paved the way for it to become the most famous case of so bad it's good, and as such gave it the pretty much household name status it now holds as one of, if not the, best worst movie ever, thus being infinitely better known than the near infinite number of just really average films. And yeah, I could keep going on about its nightmare production or how Tommy is definitely an alien that crashed to Earth and is still learning how to be human, but that's not really what we're here for, is it? No, we're here for me to watch for the first time something that you probably watched years ago and then inevitably make the same jokes that everyone else has made over the last 20 years. You know, is there actually any point in me doing this? Well, I've come this far, so may as well. Also, quick trigger warning for anyone who somehow hasn't seen it yet, which is definitely a spoiler, but like, I gotta put it out there, so there's all this stuff going on. You cool with that? Alright, let's go. So we open up with a 2 full minute long title sequence with the occasional establishing shot of San Francisco scattered throughout it. But you can just about tell it's San Fran anyway, thanks to the couple shots of the Golden Gate Bridge and that one long hilly road everyone knows. But most of these shots are just plain old water, and this one I'm pretty sure is just a painting. It's already getting you really hyped up for all the water related scenes we'll be seeing in the movie. Oh, there aren't any? Shocker! Yeah! Also, there's this one place that looks like in the Boo, but I'll take their word for it that it's San Fran. And now we have the executive producers. Obviously we got Tommy since he was the one running the show, but we've also got 2 other people listed, friends of Tommy's who didn't have a damn thing to do with making The Room. Chloe Leachke, I'm bad at names, a wheelchair-bound older lady in her early 60s living in another state who'd never had a thing to do with film production and never would. And Drew Caffrey, a man who died in 1999, 2 years before Tommy even wrote his original play. Along with being the executive producer, Caffrey was credited as another one of Tommy's assistants and the San Francisco casting director, making him the busiest dead person since Tupac Shakur. And just to top off this scene, you've probably already noticed, we have the music. And I have no idea what they were going for, but it really doesn't match the tone of the movie. It feels like we're being transported to some fantasy realm or something, about to watch some medieval jousting tournament.
That has got to hurt.
Which is a nice juxtaposition with the scene immediately following.
Hi, babe.
Meet Jackie Estacado, Johnny, played by our maestro himself, Tommy Wiseau, walking through the door like something straight out of classic sitcom.
Hi, babe.
But don't get it twisted, there's nothing funny to see here. Nope, just like the description says, this is pure drama/romance. Or at least that's what it's meant to be. And yep, it's just Johnny. None of the characters in this thing have surnames. Except one throwaway character that doesn't even appear. Go figure.
You remember my friend Shirley Hamilton?
To be fair, what is the point in surnames if they don't offer anything to the plot? Other than making your credits look less like a story written by a 5-year-old. But Tommy's doing his own thing, let him cook. Wait, hold on, where have I heard someone named Johnny before? Oh god, no.
Oh, of course, and I mean, I totally agree with you, you know, and I do, you know, it's just, I thought it was kind of funny because, you know,
No, I don't.
Can't believe we've had the CIA sequel here all along, and it came out 18 years before the original. Tommy, you genius.
I have something for you.
What is it?
Just a little something.
Can I try it on now?
Sure, it's yours.
You wait right here. I'm gonna try it on right now.
Wow, you look so sexy, Lisa.
Isn't it fabulous?
I would do anything for my girl.
Okay, so we have got a lot to unpack already. First of all, the ADR. So for those who don't know, ADR, or Automated Dialogue Replacement, is something used in the editing phase of production, where they realise something they didn't pick up on while filming, like, oh, this actor flubbed a line, or there was some unfortunate background noise or something. So they have the actor re-record the line and try and dub over themselves with improved take. And if done well, it can be pretty much impossible to notice if you're not looking for it. Unfortunately, this movie does not do it well, and it doesn't do it well a lot. We're currently like 5 lines into this thing, and I'm pretty sure every one of Tommy's has been ADR'd. Virtually none of Tommy's captured audio performance was usable, given the sound crew's inexperience and the fact that they had to keep stopping and starting during Tommy's takes to load more film. I'd been called in to dub some of my dialogue due to the fact that the sound had been improperly recorded for most of the film. Like, it's so blatant that I originally watched the 480p version of this where the mouths were like 2 pixels and I could still tell something was off. I thought the audio had just desynced or something.
I would do anything for my girl.
But anyway, that's that. I guess we're just going through the whole film with Johnny telepathically communicating his thoughts instead of forming words with his mouth.
I would do anything for my girl.
And secondly, this is Johnny's fiancée Lisa, and you may have noticed there's a tiny little bit of an age gap. Specifically, her actress was 21, while Tommy was closer to 50. And while there's nothing inherently wrong with an age gap like that between 2 consenting adults, it is a bit weird when it's the man who wrote the script, produced the film, and then inserted himself as a main character so he can snog someone less than half his age. It's weird too that Mark is pretty much the same age as Lisa, and yet is best friends with Johnny instead of someone his own age. Again, not unheard of, you can have work besties and all that. It almost feels like this random middle-aged European guy came to America however many years ago and somehow embedded himself in these college kids' lives. I don't know, it just feels icky to me. In the book, Greg explains a lot of this as Tommy making this film as a way to live out his dreams of being young and having lots of friends, since his real life was quite the opposite. It honestly makes you feel pretty sorry for him, until you read the other parts of the book that portray him as some insane, jealous, secretive, aggressive, paranoid, stalkerish, controlling, manipulative, petulant little man-child, and you're like, yeah, okay, never mind.
Oh, hey guys.
This is Denny. He's 18. He's played by a 24-year-old man and everyone treats him like a 10-year-old boy. And he sucks. Like, I'm not kidding when I say he comes across as a total little pervert. And honestly, watching the film, I really couldn't tell if that was intentional or not. Like option 1, Tommy deliberately wrote him to be like that just because it's crazy and unpredictable, just like real life is. Because he does do that a lot in this film. Option 2, Tommy accidentally wrote him like this because he really thought this is how the average 18-year-old human acts. Or option 3, there's actually nothing wrong with the script itself, it's just the way the actor plays it that's so icky. But the way Greg puts it in the book, it definitely sounds like option 1. Quote, Tommy made him lingeringly eat an apple early in the film because Tommy explained this was very sexual symbol. Going on to sum up the character in a far better way than I ever could, a man-child peeping Tom neighbour who has no purpose in the story other than to ambiguously propose a threesome and be saved from a drug dealer. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Literally, that's his character. But enough spoilers, we'll get there soon enough. And yes, Denny is another way younger person that Johnny inexplicably knows. In this case, he somehow encountered Denny as an orphan child, and being unable to adopt him, instead settled for finding a way for an adult Denny to stay in the same building as him and Lisa when he reached 18, covering his costs until he graduates college. Which I know sounds pretty weird, but I'm actually going to give Johnny the benefit of the doubt here. He's the hero of this story and written to be heroic in pretty much every way Tommy knows how, so I don't think there's anything actively dodgy here on Johnny's part. Look at me acting like anyone in this acts like a real person with human motivations. So anyway, the literal second Denny appears, Johnny's like, nice seeing you, man. Hey Lisa, you wanna f***? Except somehow even more awkwardly than that.
Nice to see you, Denny. I'm going to take a nap.
Can I go upstairs too?
Denny, I think I'm gonna join him.
While Denny, who may or may not be completely oblivious to the blatant sex talk,
This is so pretty, I can't wait for you to get it off of me.
Oh, yeah.
immediately follows them to the bedroom. He's just so icky, especially since they try to make him come across as this dumb, naive, inexperienced child, and it definitely feels like it's all an act. Seriously, check out how he acts when he's interrupting their pre-coitus pillow fight.
Danny, do you have something else to do?
Oh, Denny boy.
Like, bloody hell, we got our own little jigsaw over here. So you tell me, is he a really dumb kid, or is it something more sinister? Because I know which I'd pick. Anyway, we'll get more of Denny being a little creep later. For now, we go on to what everyone's been waiting for. The adult time scene. All 4 minutes of it, which feels like an eternity. Also, there's nudity in this, which I really wasn't expecting. So not only did the nearly 50-year-old Tommy insert himself into this to make out with a 21-year-old, but he also got to share a bed with her while she waggled her fangs all over the place. It started to feel like Tommy didn't want the love scene shooting process to end. He delayed things for no reason and stayed naked far longer than was necessary. He made no secret of the fact that he was enjoying his physical contact with Juliet, who was obviously suffering between takes. I think half of the guys on the crew had to suppress every chivalrous impulse they had during filming to keep themselves from pulling Tommy off her, especially during the shot in which Johnny appears to be impregnating Lisa's navel. Oh yeah, forgot to mention the way they're positioned in this scene, he definitely isn't in her woohoo, so I guess Johnny just has a thing for belly buttons. Not sure how much pleasure she could derive from that situation. So obviously I can't show you any of that, but what I can show you is that holy cow, Tommy Wiseau is ripped. And let me just say that we also see way more of him than I was expecting in this film too. Like, dude has his whole butt hanging out at one point. I need to do it, he told me. I have to show my whole ass or this movie won't sell. So all in all, lots of surprises in this scene. Unfortunately, they didn't make it pass any quicker. At least that's it over now. There's not any more in this thing, right? Right? Come on, man. Trying to navigate YouTube's unknown list and no words is killing me here.
Hi, Mom. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Cut to next morning. Johnny's gone to work and Lisa's confessing to her mum about how she doesn't love him anymore. I know, so hard to believe, right?
I don't love him anymore. He's so boring.
Well, you've known him for over 5 years.
Wait, hang on. You're on very thin ice, Johnny boy. Anyway, Mum's like, nah, don't leave him, he's got a good job. He gets you nice things.
He told me he plans to buy you a house.
That's why he's so boring.
Oh, and he's got you completely dependent on him, which is a totally healthy relationship.
He supports you. He provides for you. And darling, you can't support yourself.
So yeah, her mum is just kind of the worst, like, well, I want him as a son-in-law, so my feelings matter more than yours. You should listen to your mother, and Lisa finally caves.
I've always thought of him as my son-in-law.
You should marry Johnny. He would be good for you.
I guess you're right about that.
Well, of course I'm right. I know, man. I wasn't born yesterday. I'm glad you're listening to your mother.
Except no, she absolutely does not, and instead she decides, okay, screw this, I want to be the villain now, and immediately phones Mark to try and seduce him.
Hello?
Hey, baby. How you doing?
And Mark does not give a single shit.
Oh, hey, how you doing? Yeah, I'm very busy. What's going on?
She's a stupid bitch. She wants to control my life. I'm not gonna put up with that. I'm gonna do what I want to do, and that's it.
Look, we'll talk about it later. I told you I'm very busy.
Can I see you tomorrow?
I mean, why do you ask me? What do you want me to say? I mean, you should enjoy your life.
I'll be waiting for you.
All right, see ya.
I originally thought this scene was Greg just phoning it in and not even trying to act believably, and while that is true, quote, it's pretty obvious that I mailed in my performance throughout the entire production. He still at least attempted to fix some of the dialogue, but unfortunately Tommy was having none of it. My first few takes were so uncomfortable and terrible that I threw in a few lines that made Mark sound more human. Tommy caught my changes. When I tried to explain why I'd ad-libbed, he didn't listen. Greg, he said, say the lines. Don't change anything, it's simple. Mark is Johnny's best friend, what's so difficult?
Well, Seymour, I made it. Superintendent Chalmers, welcome.
So Lisa convinces Mark to go round there to meet her, and she tries her best to talk him round, but he is having none of it.
It's hot in here. Do you mind?
No. I mean, the candles, music, the sexy dress. I mean, what's going on here?
Nope, he is just far too loyal to Johnny to just betray him like that.
I need you.
Johnny's my best friend.
I love you.
I don't think so.
I need you to make love to me.
I'm leaving now.
Until she kisses him, and then he's like, well, too bad I tried, I guess this is happening now. And we get a second makeout session less than 8 minutes after the last one. This one lasting over 2.5 minutes. But at least it was more PG this time. Tommy even changed it so Greg could keep his pants on, since it was the only way he agreed to do the scene. So they do the do, and then Mark's immediately full of regret, like,
What have I done? Why did you do this to me?
Johnny's my best friend.
Now I admit, the writing performances in scenes like this are super stilted and unrealistic, but at the same time they're not that dissimilar to the sort of stuff you'll find on a bunch of crappy TV shows. Like if the whole film was in a similar vein to what we've just seen, specifically without Tommy Wiseau on screen, then this film would most likely just be another of those incredibly average indie films no one remembers. But it's the presence of Tommy, his insane performance, and the fact he even seems to have specifically written Johnny to be this sort of alien creature walking amongst men, which really makes any scene he's in so bizarre. And this is demonstrated no better than in scenes like the next one, where he's not got any of the other main cast to carry the plot for him, so instead it plays as Johnny just stumbling around, having random interactions with the whatever people or objects are in his general area, until he manages to get to the end of the scene. Just have a look, you'll see what I mean.
Hi. Can I help you?
Yeah, can I have a dozen red roses, please?
Oh, hi, Johnny. I didn't know it was you. Here you go.
That's me. How much is it?
It'll be $18.
Here you go. Keep the change. Hi, doggy.
You're my favorite customer.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Do I even need to say anything? Doesn't help that I'm pretty sure the entire scene was ADR'd again and done so badly that it has such an uncanny valley feel to it, with no natural flow to the dialogue at all. Like if you told me that entire scene was made by AI, I'd probably just be like, yeah, that checks out. Also, I love how everyone seems to be on a first name basis with Johnny, like they all know him really well.
Oh, hi, Johnny.
That's me.
Is it because he's so friendly with everyone, you know, with his incredibly natural and personable social skills?
How much is it?
It'll be $18.
Here you go. Keep the change. Hi, doggy.
You're my favorite customer.
Or more likely, is it because he's a sort of legend in San Fran as the local cryptid? There's probably documentaries about him. Here on the green screen streets of San Francisco, California, there is one name known to all of the locals. Johnny. Surname unknown. Despite the statistical near impossibility of the fact, every single one of this city's near 800,000 residents are on a first name basis with this mysterious being. As were their parents. And their parents. He even attended my barbecue last weekend. He wasn't invited, he didn't eat or drink anything, he was just there. Researchers have spent countless generations trying to learn more about this seemingly unaging being, but as of yet...
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Is that him? Oh god, he's coming, run! Fun fact, all of these external shots, or ones that are shot in an actual place rather than a really bad set, were actually written after filming all the other scenes are wrapped. So Tommy was now working with a skeleton crew of like 5 people and running around all over San Fran trying to find places to film these new scenes and any establishing shots. This flower shop scene was the very last scene shot for the movie. What this means is that he didn't really have access to any extras anymore, so this woman who serves Johnny, yep, she's a woman who actually owns the shop. Tommy paid $20 for some roses and for her to let him shoot the scene there. And this woman over here, she's the crew makeup artist. Seriously. So anyway, Johnny went to the shop to buy some flowers for Lisa as an apology for not getting the promotion of work that we haven't heard one mention of until now. Long story short, Johnny works for a bank and is like their employee of the century. He's come up with so many money-saving measures which have all been put in place, and they promised he'd get a promotion today, but lo and behold, he didn't.
They betrayed me, they didn't keep their promise, they tricked me and I don't care anymore.
So while Johnny's at the flower shop, we get to see Denny show up to the house just to be an absolute creep again.
You look beautiful today.
Can I kiss you?
You are such a little brat.
So I don't want to keep going over this, but again, this is a 24-year-old man playing an 18-year-old teen who's treated more like a 12-year-old child trying to kiss the 21-year-old future wife of his 47-ish-year-old father figure. Why did we need this subplot, Tommy? It doesn't even go anywhere.
Hi, babe. These are for you.
So Denny leaves again, Johnny gets home and breaks the news to Lisa.
Did you get your promotion?
Nah.
And this causes her to ramp it up from just so-so villain to full-on evil mastermind. She pressures Johnny into breaking his sobriety and getting wasted.
If you love me, you'll drink this.
What is this drink she's giving him? A combination of scotch and vodka, affectionately known by the fans as Scotchka.
You're right, it tastes good.
No, it absolutely does not. So they somehow manage to down enough of the stuff to get completely bladdered. And you can tell they're drunk because Lisa's wearing Johnny's tie as a bandana. Honestly, I swear that's a coincidence. And you know what's weird? I swear this scene where Lisa's pretending to like Johnny is the most natural and human and believable acting from anyone in the entire movie. Like, it's really sweet. It seems like she's actually really enjoying herself in his company.
You have nice legs, Lisa.
You have nice pecs.
Which it really shouldn't, because we know she hates him and is faking the whole thing. So anyway, they eventually make their way to bed again, and I swear they show the exact same woohoo scene as last time. Same nudity, same belly button thrust in, hell, she's even wearing the same earring, which she definitely wasn't wearing a second ago. In the end, Tommy was so pleased with the footage he shot of his love scene that he felt compelled to use it all in the final film, even going so far as to add an additional Johnny-Lisa love scene using recycled footage. Tommy assumed this would go unnoticed by audiences. It did not. So what was Lisa's plan here? Get Johnny drunk and then sleep with him for what? Well, obviously she can't just leave Johnny for Mark because she doesn't want to hurt him.
You've got to be honest with Johnny.
I can't do that. He would be devastated.
So instead she did all that so she can go around telling everyone he got drunk and abused her.
Mom, he's not what you think he is. And he got drunk last night. And he hit me.
Johnny doesn't drink. What are you talking about?
Which is far less likely to hurt him? Like, I really don't understand her plan here. So I'm guessing it's because she's still financially dependent on Johnny, which is why she can't straight up leave him. But how does telling everyone he hit you solve anything? What, are you expecting him to be arrested or murdered or something and leave his house and all his money to you? Just seems like you're gonna end up having to share a house with someone wondering why you're talking all this shit about them. If you got any ideas, chuck them in the comments down below, because I got nothing. So next scene, we're with Lisa and her mum again, and Lisa's trying to organise a surprise party for the fiance she hates. And I swear, Lisa's mum has got so much happening in her own life in this movie for absolutely no reason at all. Like, way more backstory than any of the main characters get. Like, just in this scene, we get this whole segment moaning about how her brother is trying to steal her house or something.
That jerk Harold. He is always bugging me about my house. Who does he think he is?
He's your brother.
And her ex-husband is talking shit about her.
I heard Edward is talking about me. He is a hateful man. Oh, I'm so glad I divorced him.
Oh, and also she's got cancer.
I got the results of the test back. I definitely have breast cancer.
To which her own daughter's response is basically,
oh no! Anyway.
Nobody wants to help me, and I'm dying.
You're not dying, Mom. Everything will be fine.
And it is never addressed again. So Mummy's like the first person Lisa starts peddling her lies to.
Well, at least you have a good man.
You're wrong. He hit me, and I don't love him anymore.
And Mum's just like, suck it up.
Johnny is your financial security. You can't afford to ignore this.
So you can tell this is a really close mother-daughter relationship. I'm dying. You'll be fine. I'm experiencing domestic abuse. He pays well though. Next scene, some random teen couple enters Johnny's house and starts doing the do right there on the sofa. And that's the whole scene. However long later, Lisa and Mother get back from doing some sort of shopping somewhere. Honestly, didn't know Lisa was even capable of leaving the house. And then her mum accidentally speaks for the entire audience.
What are these characters doing here?
Wait, I'm not seeing anyone else in this scene. Tommy, have you been messing with the script again?
That's me.
Mom, this is Michelle's boyfriend, Mike. Mike, this is my mother.
I still have no idea who Michelle and Mike are. Apparently Johnny just lets them use his house to do the doing sometimes.
Me and Michelle, we were making out at your place.
Hey, Lisa. Mom, this is Denny.
How many people come in and out of this apartment every day? This is worse than Grand Central Station.
Okay, I take back what I said earlier, the mum is by far the best character in this. Anyway, fast forward, Lisa gives mum all the backstory of Johnny raising Denny and how he's such a great guy.
Johnny is very caring about the people in his life.
Apparently completely forgetting their last conversation.
He's not what you think he is, and he hit me.
Johnny is very caring about the people in his life.
Mike comes back for his underwear.
What's this?
And Denny continues his trend of being the worst.
Where's my f***ing money, Denny?
Swear to God, it's coming!
Turns out Denny owes this narcotic dealer money. Have you noticed yet? I still don't know which words YouTube doesn't like. One day I'll figure this site out. So the dealer, Chris R, badass name, right, has come found Denny on the roof of the apartment complex. With a backdrop that definitely wasn't green screened in.
Just give me 5 minutes. Haven't got 5 minutes.
He starts roughing Denny up, but they're interrupted just in time by Johnny, who, being the hero of the story, manages to subdue this angry man with a gun with his bare hands and personally escorts him to prison. I mean, Mark helps too, but who cares about that Judas? And while they're doing that, we get a 1.5-minute long sequence of Lisa and her mum berating Denny.
What kind of drugs do you take?
And Denny being a little bitch boy.
Stop ganging up
up on me!
You're not my f***ing mother!
Then Johnny and Mark come back, so I guess the police station's like right next door, and they all have a little intervention for Denny.
You know better, Denny. You almost got killed.
Side note, we never see Chris R or acknowledge Denny's drug stuff ever again.
Let's go home.
And then that scene ends, and we definitely not smoothly at all transition into what's probably my favourite interaction in the whole film.
I miss you.
I just saw you. What are you talking about?
Unironically, I would pay to watch an entire film of Lisa trying harder and harder to seduce Mark, only for him to always respond with, "Oh, why are you being so weird?" What the hell is wrong with you, Lisa? How do you not know how to eat a banana? I was thinking about you earlier and got away. You should have been thinking about buying an umbrella, Lisa. Haha, I win! I have connected the 4. I got a few holes you can fill too. But I've already connected the 4. You really need to learn the rules of this game, Lisa.
I love you. You just don't care, do you?
No, I do care.
But I still have feelings for you. You just don't care.
God, I do care.
Okay.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
So another super abrupt transition now takes us back to the digital rooftop, where Johnny is mad about Lisa's accusations for like 2 seconds before the conversation shifts to Johnny being like, "I love Lisa and she would never cheat on me," and Mark being like, "Yeah, I'm definitely not sleeping with her."
You think girls like to cheat like guys do?
I don't have to worry about that because Lisa's loyal to me.
Yeah, man, you never know.
People are very strange these days.
I used to know a girl. She had a dozen guys. One of them found out about it, beat her up so bad she ended up in a hospital on Guerrero Street.
What a story, Mark.
Yeah, you can say that again.
And then Denny appears again. Yay. And he's like, "Hey Johnny, by the way, I'm in love with Lisa."
She's beautiful. She looks great in a red dress.
I feel like I want to kiss her and tell her that I love her.
And Johnny's just like, "Oh yeah, no worries, that's cool. Just remember she's basically your mum, so only love her in that way."
Lisa loves you too.
As your friend.
Also, why don't you go after a girl your own age in your school class, you very adult child?
What about Elizabeth, huh?
And then the scene ends with them walking off into the distance together as we transition to a very cheerful shot of Alcatraz prison. So next up we get a fairly long chain of events, eventually resulting in Johnny finding out about the affair, which isn't surprising because Lisa is really not trying to hide it. So we start off with her trying to tell yet another person that Johnny hit her. This time it's that Michelle girl who's maybe her best friend.
He hit you?
He didn't know what he was doing.
Are you okay?
Well, I don't want to marry him anymore.
What?
Also, she just straight up admits to cheating with Mark like she's proud of it, so like at this point, why even lie about the abuse?
Lisa, this isn't right. You're living with one guy and you're sleeping with another guy?
I'm doing what I want to do.
Who is he?
His best friend.
It's Mark, isn't it?
Your secret is safe with me.
Hello, Michelle. What secret?
Johnny hears just about enough of the conversation to figure out she's hiding something, so he asks her what's going on, why are you accusing me of hitting you and keeping secrets from me when you're my future wife, and she is just super weird about it.
I never hit you. You shouldn't have any secrets from me. I'm your future husband.
You sure about that? Maybe I'll change my mind. Women change their minds all the time.
Like seriously, what sort of 4D chess is she playing here? Then the guys throw a football around for no reason.
Underwear man, come on.
Then Johnny hears Lisa telling her mum about the affair.
I had sex with someone else.
You can't be serious.
I am serious.
You don't understand.
Which leads to the most heartbreaking performance by any leading actor in the history of cinema.
How can they say this about me? I don't believe it. I show them. I record everything.
So Johnny manages to bug the house phone, which I mean, props, I definitely wouldn't know how to do that with zero prep time. Good thing he just happened to have a tape recorder and tape and stuff lying around the house, and that's definitely all you need to bug a phone, I guess. And then he slowly walks upstairs into the same room he was just in, but now his psychologist friend Peter is there, so Johnny asks him what his professional advice is.
I have a serious problem with Lisa. I don't think she's faithful to me. In fact, I know she isn't. You're a psychologist. Do you have some advice?
And he is not helpful at all.
Lisa? Are you sure? It's Lisa we're talking about. I don't know what to say. It's a complicated situation, Johnny. Sometimes life gets complicated. The unexpected can happen. When it does, you just gotta deal with it. Did you hear the door? Yeah.
Oh, hi, Mark. Come in.
Oh, hey, Johnny.
Mark's Johnny radar leads him to the discussion where he reiterates how he is definitely not sleeping with Lisa.
I have a girl. She's married. I mean, she's very attractive. It's driving me crazy.
Can I meet her?
I don't think so. It's an awkward situation.
Then Johnny makes some chicken noises.
Cheep, 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 cheep.
Lisa and Denny appear and Mark and Peter quickly flee to the rooftop where Mark's like, okay, not naming names, but maybe I slept with Lisa.
I got this sick feeling in my stomach, man. Did something awful. I don't think I can forgive myself.
Peter calls him out, like,
You're having an affair with Lisa, aren't you?
and Mark, completely shocked that someone managed to figure it out, tries to throw Peter off the roof.
What are you, nuts?
But then he stops and he's like, sorry.
Sorry. Sorry, man. You okay? Yeah, I'm fine.
It's probably the most swiftly forgiven attempted murder in the history of film. And then he starts ranting about Lisa.
I don't know what to do, man. I'm so depressed. It's all her fault. She's such a manipulative bitch.
And Peter again has some really helpful advice.
Sometimes life can get complicated, and you've got to be responsible. So you don't see Lisa again, and you definitely don't sleep with her again. Just find yourself another girl.
Before moving on to basically, I know, man, Lisa fucking sucks. Stay righteous, king.
She's a sociopath. She only cares about herself. She can't love anyone.
It's Lisa we're talking about.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, thanks a lot. Oh, hi, Danny.
So now all the guys are wearing tuxedos for some reason, and Mark's shaved.
Wow. Wow. Hey, guys. You like it?
It sounds like they're doing wedding photos or something now, even though the wedding isn't for like another month. Then the guys make some chicken noises.
Cheep, 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 cheep.
Then the guys throw a football about for no reason.
Go deep.
You're clumsy.
Then Johnny goes to Naboo. Then Johnny and Mark go to a coffee shop, and of course everyone there knows Johnny too.
Oh, hi, Susan.
Well, hi, Johnny. How are you? Good to see you.
So we get to hear the orders of literally every customer in the shop.
Great, sure.
I'm gonna get a slice of cheesecake and a bottle of wine. I'll have a large peanut butter cup with extra whipped cream, please.
All right. And I'll take 2 number 9s. Okay, once you guys have a seat, we'll have that right out for you.
Then Mark and Johnny have a little talk. Mark wants to know confidential trade secrets.
We got a new client at the bank. We'll make a lot of money.
What client?
I cannot tell you. It's confidential.
Oh, come on. Why not?
Johnny wants to know if Mark still fucks.
Anyway, how is your sex life?
You know, normal guy stuff. Then just completely out of nowhere, we cut to Lisa and Mark sleeping together again, and this time way less PG, thangs swinging everywhere again. If you're wondering, 2 minutes and 40 seconds, and yes, Mark does actually know where it's meant to go. And then Johnny and Mark go for a jog while throwing a football. I swear Tommy only had like 3 ideas for things to do in this film: football, sex, and chicken noises. But this time the football throwing is apparently monumental enough to warrant some operatic wailing. And then we're back with another Lisa-Mark makeout session, because Mark apparently has zero self-respect, but this time they're interrupted by someone hammering at the door, giving us the most painfully obvious use of ADR in the whole film. And that's saying something.
Hurry up, I have to open the door.
Wait, hang on.
Turns out it's... what was her name again? Michelle. So good thing it wasn't someone she didn't want to know about the affair, since they're not even finished getting dressed yet.
Come on in, it's open.
Hi, Mark. XYZ. Examine your zipper.
You guys are too much.
So the girls have a little talk where Lisa continues on her supervillain shit.
I need more from life than what Johnny can give me. I want it all.
You think you can get it all from Mark?
If he can't give me what I want,
Somebody else will.
You're probably thinking she's got everything. Well, it's true, 'cause I do. But so the f*** what? It's not enough.
you have to take as much as you can. You have to live.
And now we cut back to Johnny and Mark finishing their jog before driving back to the house. Hang on. Don't tell me it's been an evil clone of Mark doing the cheating all along. Honestly, given the other ideas Tommy had planned for the story, it wouldn't surprise me.
I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
But no, I guess this is just a different run. They are actually wearing different clothes at least. Given the way this story is cut together, you really have no idea how long there is in between scenes, like what the time frame in this thing is. That's no better shown than right here, where we transition away from this daytime scene into a nighttime skyline and back into daytime again. In any other film, that would suggest that it's now the next day, except for the fact that last scene, Lisa made it very clear that that was the day of Johnny's party.
Are you gonna be ready?
We have plenty of time.
I mean, for the party.
People are going to be getting here soon.
Except no, because now Johnny's going to work again and Lisa's still trying to get the place ready.
I'm fixing the apartment for Johnny's birthday, but I'm really not into it.
I'm pretty sure at this point we're straight up seeing scenes out of order. Going for a touch of memento, I see. Or they just messed up the editing. Well, not quite. The editors knew full well it didn't make sense, but just couldn't convince Tommy. How, Eric asked Tommy, am I supposed to edit this? Lisa says she's getting ready for the party tonight. Then it's night and there's no party. Then it's day and she's still getting ready for the party. And you want a love scene thrown in there? Tommy's response, yes. This is the way I see it. So Lisa's mum comes by yet again, and I swear they have pretty much the exact same conversation for the third time in this film.
I still think you should marry Johnny.
But I'm not happy.
And then we get a 30-second scene of Tommy walking home from work. So I guess nothing else interesting happened today. Maybe they should have shown the rest of the day's events after the morning's events, with the loudest footsteps ever. And then he gets home for his party. Surprise! And everyone is here. Lisa, Denny, Mark, Lisa's mum, the couple who made out on Johnny's sofa, the random new character that Tommy just invented because the guy who played Peter was busy for the rest of the shoot. And of course, 4 random extras we've never seen before.
What are these characters doing here?
It's a regular old Infinity War in here. So we get a whole bunch of nothing at the party, and Lisa eventually tricks everyone else into going outside.
Hey, everybody, let's go outside for some fresh air.
So she and Mark can once again make out, with everyone else like right there.
What are you doing? I mean, are you crazy? Everybody's here.
No, they're not.
Okay, never mind, I guess they're not. So they start making out right there on the sofa again, only to be interrupted by our fake Peter, Stephen. If only Lisa learned to lock the door for once.
If I were a burglar, you would be my best friend.
Look.
And we get some more top-notch acting.
Why are you doing this?
I love him.
I don't believe it.
You don't understand anything, man. Leave your stupid comments in your pocket.
Is Tommy just inventing his own phrases now? Thomas Wiseau, a modern Shakespeare. I feel like too often in this I make it sound like it's the fault of Greg and the other actors not being able to perform the scenes well, and it's definitely not that. They're legitimately doing all they can to overcome how bad Tommy's script and direction was. Well, maybe not all they can, but a reasonable amount? Main problem is, I don't think even the most prestigious actors would be capable of making this dialogue work. I imagined I was saying the line to Tommy and then changed all the words in my head. Leave, why, your, are, stupid, you, comment, doing, in, this, your, to, pocket, me. On the next take, no surprise, I nailed it. So now Stephen knows about the affair and Lisa deals with this by making some more completely nonsensical choices. Off screen, she goes and tells Johnny she's pregnant.
Hey everybody, I have an announcement to make. We're expecting!
But that was just a complete lie, like I guess she was just f***ing with him for some reason?
There is no baby. I told them that to make it interesting. We're probably gonna have a baby eventually anyway.
Okay, Jesus Christ, how long is she planning to go through with this? Does she think she's just gonna live with this boring guy she hates for her entire life just for somewhere to live while she bangs other guys? That sounds exhausting.
You guys worry entirely too much about me. Lisa, we're not worried about you. We're worried about Johnny. You don't understand the psychological impact of what you're doing here.
I am not responsible for Johnny.
I don't want to talk about it. Hey, everybody, let's go inside and eat some cake.
So we're near the end of the movie now, and it's pretty obvious the baby announcement was just to try and ramp up the tension and get the story moving towards the conclusion. And so to lead to a big confrontation, we need Mark to wonder if the non-existent baby is his.
Oh, whose baby is it? Is it mine?
No, of course not.
How can you be sure? Come on, Lisa.
Just stop asking me stupid questions.
Who the hell do you think you are?
Just shut up!
What are you doing? What's going on here?
You really don't know, do you?
Maybe I know more than you think I do, Mark.
Shit, all right?
What do you want from me, huh?
Hey! Stop it!
All right. Okay, folks, everything is fine.
And yeah, I guess that's the big bust up this whole movie's been leading up to. Lisa slaps Mark. Johnny's like, maybe I do know that you're sleeping with my future wife, except not really because we haven't got to that part yet, but I'm very angry with you anyway. And they fight for 5 seconds before Johnny's like, okay, let's go back to being best friends now, Mark. Until we cut to literally the exact next scene where Lisa and Mark are slow dancing together and pretty much making out in front of everyone. Subtlety really isn't their strong point, is it?
What are you doing?
None of your business.
You're my future wife. What are you doing, Lisa?
So Johnny's like, what the hell is this? And Mark, who remembers being pretty conflicted about betraying Johnny and being manipulated by Lisa this whole time, just completely lets rip at him. I mean, he's mean to him. Not the other thing.
Leave her alone, man. She doesn't want to talk to you.
Wake up, man. What planet are you on?
Mark makes it obvious he's sleeping with Lisa. Well, obviouser.
Lisa changed her mind about you.
And then they fight again. For realsies this time.
Stop it!
Girl alone.
If you keep your girl satisfied, she will come to me.
Get out my house.
I kill you. I'll bring him in for everybody.
I guess this is the big bust of the whole movie's been leading up to. Literally 1 minute after the last one. Why not just have one confrontation? I have no idea. In the final film, Tommy separates these two nearly identical moments with a supremely nonsensical establishing shot of a San Francisco skyscraper. Then Johnny makes some more chicken noises.
Chip, 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 chip.
And then he storms upstairs.
Everybody betrayed me. I fed up with this world.
So party's over now, guests have gone home, Johnny's locked himself in the bathroom moping, and Lisa decides this is the perfect time to hit up Mark for a booty call.
You know, I love you very much.
And Mark's just totally up for it now. Apparently Johnny was totally in the wrong for being pissed his best friend was sleeping with his future wife, so now Mark's being a little shit.
Why don't you ditch this creep? I don't like him anymore.
Why don't I come up there and be with you?
Sure, baby, come on up. I want your body.
So Johnny hears this and emerges from the bathroom to listen to the tape recorder from way back to find out who she was talking to.
Who are you talking to?
As if he hasn't already worked it out.
If you keep your girl satisfied, she will come to me.
Get out my house.
Don't worry about Johnny. He's just being a big baby. You know, I love you very much. You're the sparkle of my life. I can't live without you.
The interesting thing about Mark and Lisa's phone tap conversation is that the room's audience hears the original conversation they have in real time on screen. However, when Johnny plays their conversation back a few seconds later, the recording is different from what the audience just heard. And yes, that difference is actually in the script. It has evidently not occurred to Tommy when he was writing the room to scroll back half a page and cross-check the two conversations, and Juliet and I didn't bother correcting the discrepancy.
How could you do this to me? I gave you 7 years of my life.
Wait, hold on. 7 years. 7 years! It wasn't dodgy enough when it was 5. Now this movie isn't in the habit of giving us the characters' ages, except in the case of the 18-ish-year-old child Denny, who's again played by a 24-year-old man. But I don't think it's that unfair to assume that aside from him, the characters' ages are probably pretty consistent with their actors' ages. So 7 years ago would put Johnny at around 40 and Lisa at around 14. I'm pretty sure his cheating fiancé accused him of domestic abuse is the least of his worries. According to Tommy's script, Lisa is between 21 and 25 and has been with Johnny for either 5 or 7 years. How old then was Lisa when she and Johnny got together? A writer less fixated on youth as the ideal state of human existence might have considered that question.
I want your body.
You got it.
Everybody betrayed me. I don't have a friend in the world.
I'm leaving you, Johnny.
So Lisa officially leaves Johnny, which I mean would have been nice an hour and a half ago instead of tearing his life apart. This leads to Johnny having a massive breakdown and smashing up the apartment while having a ton of random flashbacks to Lisa, which I can't show you because again they're like 90% just her naked body. Tommy's really making the most of that footage, huh?
Why, Lisa? Why? The whole world.
Then Johnny humps a dress a little, and then he shoots himself in the head.
It's over. God, forgive me.
Feels like the sort of topic I shouldn't really be making fun of, but like, Bit of an overreaction, innit? Okay, so your future wife cheated with your best friend. You're still a banker of all things. Just transfer to another city and start fresh with a new pair of teenagers. Also, that dress humping? I figured that was just some weird acting choice Tommy made while filming, but no, he actually scripted that. He reaches in and pulls out more of Lisa's clothes and throws them on the floor. He lies on the clothes, unzipping his zipper. He is breathing hard and writhing with pelvic thrusts. When he finishes, he sits up and picks up the gun. I'd read the script several times, but never in a million years did I think Tommy would actually try to film this. Who has sex with his future wife's clothes moments before shooting himself? Equally bizarre was the fact that Tommy has Johnny smell the dress after his presumable orgasm. You know you're in trouble as a dramatist when the character blows his face off and it's the second most memorable thing in the scene.
Wake up, Johnny, come on!
Is he dead? My God, Mark, is he dead?
Fun fact, it was at this exact moment that I realised that Lisa sounds like Meg, which I'm pretty sure was subconsciously bugging me this entire film.
My God, Mark, is he dead?
So yeah, Mark and Lisa hear the shot and find his body, and Mark is quick to shuck all responsibility like, I can't believe Lisa did this.
I've lost him, but I still have you, right? Right?
You don't have me. You'll never have me. You killed him. Tramp. You killed him. You're the cause of all of this.
Get out of my life, you bitch!
And then Denny comes back and cries over Johnny's body.
Johnny's dead! Wake up, Johnny, please!
Denny, he's in a better place.
As one commentator on the film eloquently noted, Johnny's death sequence is effectively a teenage boy's self-pity and fantasy of how if he killed himself, everyone would regret how mean they had been to him. And roll credits. No wait, actually not before we hear some random woman saying to call 911 despite the fact 911 is clearly already there.
It's on a cell phone. It's called calling
911.
Now roll credits. And there we have it. Johnny's dead, Mark isn't shagging Lisa anymore, and everyone's just sad now, I guess. The end. Chilling stuff. Hopefully you all enjoyed rewatching that with me, and if you somehow also hadn't seen it before, then it's nice we had our first time together. No wait. So yeah, that was Tommy Wiseau's baby, all $6 million worth of it. And despite the fact it was clearly meant to be a serious emotional drama about some evil witch ruining our noble hero's life, since everyone only watches the film to laugh at it, Tommy has since tried to convince everyone that it's meant as a black comedy, even though everyone knows that all the humour is purely accidental. Okay, maybe the chicken stuff was deliberate? I still don't know what the hell the chicken stuff was. And honestly, it's a wonder the film is as grounded as it is. Of all the revelations revealed in The Disaster Artist, one of the most notable is how Greg had to talk Tommy out of using a certain subplot. This subplot being that Johnny was a vampire all along. With a flying car. Honestly, I kinda wish we'd got that film. At least it'd explain why Johnny's so weird. Damn it, Greg, why do you have to ruin it for us?
And also, maybe Johnny is vampire. We'll see.
But it really says something about the staying power of this film. 20 years later, and here we are still talking about it. I mean, I say that as if it's some indie film and not something that cost $6 million, but you get what I mean. 2013, 10 years after the premiere, we saw the release of the Disaster Artist book, which then got the film adaptation in 2017. Cut. Back in 2010, we even got an unofficial tribute Flash game on Newgrounds, and it's still playable today. It's honestly so cool. And to top it off, we've got the big one. On March 9th, 2023, Slash Film reported that a green screen based remake of The Room was in post-production, with Bob Odenkirk starring as Johnny, alongside Bella Heathcote as Lisa, obviously other actors in the other roles, but most notably Greg Sestero himself, this time in the role of Chris R. No word on who they've cast as Denny yet, maybe someone a bit closer to the right age, though I'm not holding my breath. While the principal photography for the original film took a measly 4 months, the remake made this look like a lifetime, with the entirety of its filming being completed in 1 day in January. Odenkirk said the film was not made as a joke nor mocking the room, but was presenting the material of the original film seriously. So I'm really curious how it will actually turn out, if they'll make it authentic and stick to the exact same script, or adapt it to make it more natural but while telling the same story. If Bob will try to emulate Tommy's bizarre performance, or if he'll actually try and play it professionally to try and show us what the film could have been like if it was good. There's one clip that's leaked online that was shown at some sort of special screening. I can't remember where it was and I can't find mention online, but that makes it look like some sort of art house experiment. Black and white filter, using the same clunky script as the original, but with the actors trying their hardest to deliver it seriously.
Oh. Hi, Mark.
The remake was originally announced with the release date of spring 2023, before being pushed back to June 2023 to coincide with the film's 20th anniversary. But at the time of recording this, we are just entering August 2023 and there's no sign of it yet. Hopefully soon, because I cannot wait. Hey, what's up? Editing me here, fresh from a cold shower because it is boiling here today and I was steaming up immediately. Oh, Jesus Christ, come on. Whatever. So it has taken me way longer than I expected to edit this video, like it turned out way longer and more complicated than I thought it was gonna be. You may have noticed we're almost dead on the hour mark here. Also I had a birthday, went on holiday, bleached my hair, it was a whole thing. So we are now in September and there's still no sign of the remake. The only thing I can think of is it's on hold because of the strike action, which has been going on for a long time now, though I'm not quite sure why that would be since all the writing and acting is done here, but maybe they just think it'd be in bad taste releasing it until then, I don't know. Or it's just taking longer than expected to edit, who knows, probably they know. If it is because of the strikes, then all the power to them. I think we can all wait a little longer until the higher ups agree to actually treat people like humans, if that ever happens. Also, I didn't really touch on this at all just now, but the remake's actually being made to benefit a charity, specifically as part of Acting for a Cause, which, quoting a Deadline article, is an all-volunteer organisation that produces and stages Zoom-style table readings of classic plays and movies for charity. In this case, the charity is AMFAR, the Foundation for AIDS Research, so that's great. So the remake was produced and directed by Acting for a Cause's founder Brando Crawford, and our apparent Denny is Cameron Kasky, who's typically known less as an actor and more as an anti-gun violence activist and school shooting survivor, who was included in Time magazine's 100 Most Influential People of 2018. That's not really related to anything, I just think it's pretty cool. Not really the sort of person you expect to be playing a drug buying old pervert like Denny, but whatever. Anyway, I think that's about all I've got to add here, so back to younger me to finish off this video. Bye bye. But yeah, I don't think I've got much else to say. The Room is certainly a movie. Technically. Really though, the reason it's so interesting is less because haha, weird wacky film, and more because it's a real insight into the mind of Tommy Wiseau. Without him, I don't think anything like this could ever be created, and I'm not sure such random lightning in a bottle is really possible ever again, because it's not the sort of thing you can actively try to create. It was the wholly natural creation of one very strange man who honestly believed he was making the biggest thing the world had ever seen, and in a way he was right. I can definitely see how it got its reputation as something to put on to laugh at with friends, and I fully understand how it ended up just taking the whole world by storm. It's just bizarre. I'm not kidding when I say how excited I am now for the remake, if it ever comes out. How watching the film actually made me want to fully read and watch The Disaster Artist, something that going in I'd assured myself I'd be far too lazy to do. I know I've said this already, but seriously, if you haven't already, you gotta read the book. It's just so fascinating, even compared to the film, which took a lot of creative liberties. If you want the full insight into how exactly this all came to be, you gotta check it out. Not sponsored. If you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, maybe ding that little notification bell, because I am still very bad at sticking to a schedule. Hell, I wrote the whole first version of this script before even starting editing my last video. Motivation is a bitch, huh?
Who are you calling a bitch?
You and your stupid mother.
Got out now though, so yay! If you haven't watched that yet, maybe go check it out. I will see you there. Otherwise, I will see you next time. Bye bye.